see him, but I can't see me. He's got a green. He's texting me. Hit the video button. Well, where is he? Like a video camera. Oh, is that it? Dark in here. Crap. I can hear you. I'm trying to get the light. It's terrible. Can you hear me? Well, the light's bad, so I don't know what to do with it.
Tribune TV. Well, happy Thanksgiving Eve. How is everyone? I hope you're okay. All okay. You look fine there. Thank you so much for your patience. I had some technical difficulties, and but I'm here. You're here. Who's cooking? Who's baking? Anyone? Anyone cooking? Hi. Hey, Arlene. Hey, Bobby, Ellen Brown, Kathy Dew, Tina Holmes. Hey, Drew. How's everyone doing? What are y'all cooking? I was baking today. Yeah, believe it or not, I bake. I bake. I cook. Daddy always said I would make a good wife. And apparently I do. Done cooking. Everyone's all done. Still cooking. Charlene is still cooking. How many are just buying? Who's going the route of just buying the meal, buying the turkey, buying the ham, and just calling it a weekend? Who's doing that? Still cooking. Charlene is still cooking. Good to see you too, Daniel Hester, Natalie Richards. Hey, Richard Rankin, Heather Toes. You are everyone coming to your place. You are everyone coming to your place. I'm not sure I quite understand what that means, but no, I'm going over to my mother-in-law's. She's got everything taken care of. That's right. She's a good mother-in-law that way. But thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you're here. It's a fantastic Thanksgiving, I believe. I think it's a great Thanksgiving. We got a lot to be thankful for, don't we? I mean, 2018 has really been an interesting year. You know, I mean, really. There's a lot that I think that we could just complain about and go on about and just not be thankful for if we wanted to be, that way. But I think, on the contrary, I think we have a lot to be thankful for. Put in your comments what you're thankful for. I'm thankful for tons of stuff. But we'll get to that here in just a minute. I have some friends that I want to share with you who have lots of things they are thankful for. And trust me, they are very, very, very thankful people. I want you to check this video out.
We're thankful for so much at the veranda. What are you thankful for?
What are you thankful for? Put it in the comments. I want to hear what everyone's thankful for. Those are some of my friends at the veranda. Those are the clients that are at the veranda. I love those dear people. I was very privileged to put that video together for the veranda. And how many have seen the ad? Have you seen it? Have you seen that video already? Yeah, I need to know that. So if you've seen that video already, say it in the comments. That'd be good to know. But the veranda is a very, 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 very special ministry, very special place in our heart as Tribute Quartet, and my heart personally. And they have been. My guest is on the screen. How many years it's been? On your fingers. How many years has it been?
For the veranda?
Yeah, 7 years. 7 years. This is a fairly new ministry, and actually, it's a respite service. There's a lot of people that don't know what a respite service is. A care service, respite care service. This is like so say you have family with Alzheimer's, dementia, that you're busy and you don't have time, and you really don't have time. Not that you don't want to take the time, but you don't have the time. Your hands are tied, and you need someone to help, and you don't want to necessarily pay for someone to come into the house that you don't know. Well, you can call the veranda, and it's a place where they can all meet together. But we'll talk about that here in a second. My friend Mary Ann Oglesby Southerly is the wonderful, wonderful hearted, beautiful spirited woman that started this ministry 7 years ago. I don't know how many people have ever seen the Aging Matters documentary on public television, or at least the Nashville Public Television. NPT has showed it, and if you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. But there has been a lot of they've had some obstacles they've had to jump through simply because they have operated underneath the church. The law has said some things. I'll let Marianne explain all that stuff later. But thankfully, we were able to win, for lack of better words. Lack of better words. Thankfully, #thankful, so that this ministry can keep going. Because had it not happened, they wouldn't be in existence. They'd be shut down by the government. Yeah, difficult. So here's a little video explaining kind of what the legislation did and kind of what they are. And so you get a better picture of what this is. I have points to all of this. I'm going to bring on my guest here in a minute. So check out this video.
My name is Mary Ann Oglesby Southerly. I'm the Executive Director of Veranda Ministries in Gallatin, Tennessee. I'm forever grateful to the documentary entitled Living with Alzheimer's and Dementia. I've used it many times in my program, and for my families, for the caregivers of the clients that we take care of, it has been huge for them. We're dealing with human beings that have hearts and souls. We're dealing with families. As an advocate, I was determined that the veranda was going to mean something to the community in which I lived. Well, unbeknownst to me, in 2017, there was new legislation brought forth in the state of Tennessee that you would have to have a license to be an adult day care if you had more than 4 clients. Well, we had 15. And so I knew what that meant. It meant the veranda was going to close.
There for a minute, I was like, Susan, I just want to sit down and cry.
The documentary, it gave us what we needed, the tool to fight for people living with dementia. We could show it to a Senate hearing, a House subcommittee hearing, and we could show it to DHS, and we could say, this is what we do. What we do is viable, it's credible, it is needed. So after a year of committee hearings, subcommittee hearings, Senate vote, House vote, we now have a new respite law. Religious organizations are allowed to have respite programs, caregiver day out programs for people in their communities. It is huge for rural communities because surrounding counties for us, such as Portland, they have no adult daycare. Money cannot buy what that documentary did for us, if nothing else, for that piece of legislation, because not only can we stay open, other churches can help people living with dementia and their families.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful. I'm glad that Tribute Quartet can be a part of this ministry. We've actually helped with a few events that they've held, fundraising events over the years. Unfortunately, it's not reached, the awareness has not reached much out of the Nashville area. And y'all, this is a type of ministry that's needed. I mean, the example set here has been really unbelievable. It's been unbelievable. Some of you all have family, I know, and you know how tough it is. Y'all, this is an amazing ministry. So, with that being said, actually, I said we do some fundraisers for them. We actually have one coming up. It's coming up. Who's ready for Christmas music? A lot of people are asking, I know a lot of people ask if I have my Christmas decorations up. I'm a Christmas nut. No, I don't. Not yet. My let's just say I respect those who prefer to wait to put up their Christmas decorations in my house so I can continue to live. Does that make any sense at all? Anybody else know anything like that? So we have an event coming up December 4th. It's actually a Christmas concert and dinner. You can see right there. John Darren Rousey is going to be the host this year. Aaron Wilburn, and it's going to be there. The Tallies, Jeff Stice, Tribute Quartet's going to be there. Kenna Turner West, Dusty Well, Avenue, the Lore Family, Rebecca Burke, and of course the director of the veranda, Marianne Oglesby Southern. There's going to be a few other special guests that night, I do believe. So that being said, if you can't make it, you can still donate. You can donate. You can go to the website and you can donate. But it's going to be a great night. Every year that we do this, it's always fun. We sing Christmas music. We eat good food. It's just like Christmas dinner with lots of music. We don't take it all that serious because we like to have fun. So, that being said, let me bring on my special guest. Everyone, make welcome. Let's see if I can make this work. This is a whole new platform. Isn't this a neat little platform? Marianne Oglesby. See if I can. There she is.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hey,
Oh,
how are
wait a
you?
minute. Wait, there we are. There we are.
Hey.
Hey, I love you.
I love you too.
You got your Thanksgiving cooking all done?
It's gonna be downtown on 2nd Avenue.
You know, I
Marianne is
remember
tired.
there was one year, when I moved, of course, growing up, I always didn't have to worry about it. And, and then when I moved to Nashville, then I had to worry about it. The first year, of course, I was with the Wilburns. So Elaine Wilburn, who's a fantastic cook, she did it, and it was great. That was the first year. After that, I had moved out of her house, and I was kind of on my own. So one year, I traveled. A group hired me for the weekend. So on Thanksgiving Day, I was in concert. Another year, I had it at Cracker Barrel.
I've done that.
Oh, and that I can live with. Cracker Barrel for Thanksgiving? Yeah, I can live with that. So you're going, where are you going?
Well, I have to Google it and look because I can't remember. It's on 2nd Avenue. It's something like Gray and something. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a restaurant downtown, and they're having a Thanksgiving dinner, and it's supposed to be really, really good.
You think it's going to be crazy?
Well, no, we have reservations. You had to have a reservation. So we're going at 2:30, and but they've got some stuff I don't know what is on the menu.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know, something about rooted vegetables or something like that. And
That's that whole organic farm to
it's
table
from
thing.
Farm to table, yes.
You know what though? I'm a fan of that. A lot of people aren't a fan of that. Why would people not be a fan of that? That's how we all started.
I know the prime rib came from, I think it's from Franklin, somebody in Franklin. You can choose 2 different meals. So anyway, it's on 2nd Avenue, and I don't have to cook, and I'm tired and getting older. And so therefore I'll let someone else. And the chef from Arkansas. So he's got to be a good guy. He's from Arkansas.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You're from Arkansas. Hey, we got any Arkansas people? Surely we got some Arkansas people watching tonight. Surely.
I think my sister is all the way from Hope, Arkansas.
Hope, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Now, you were down in Texarkana, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Texarkana.
I remember that
And
house.
then moved to
Hey,
Texas.
that was a good meal that day. We got some funny stories. You got some funny stories from Texarkana, but some of those you just can't share. So
share everything. We have to be quiet. That's what Gary tells me to do all the time. Zip it. He gave me a lecture on what I could say and what I could not say.
Oh, well, then okay. Yeah.
But I didn't hear him. I'm kind of deaf in one ear now, so.
Well, I'm a married man. Apparently, I'm deaf in both ears.
Well, you did have to do a quick run.
Listen, okay, all right. I gotta confess, everybody, y'all. I gotta fess up.
Better because it's
I know.
It had nothing to do with technology. I'll just tell you that.
Here it comes. The reason why I was late.
Yes.
Was I was given specific instructions to pick up a ham today.
Yes.
From Honey Baked Ham.
Yes.
I have been busy all day because I'm the one with the car. Callie was at work. I took her to work, so I had the car. I did not make it there
I know.
until 7:35,
I know.
and then
Traffic.
I left at 7:15. I got there at 7:35, and I got back to the house at 8:02. And
A
everyone is
miracle. It's
sitting on
Thanksgiving
Facebook waiting
miracle.
on me, y'all. I'm sorry.
Got to
I
do what
asked for Jesus to take the wheel. He did not.
He did not.
He did not. However, let's just say he gave me traveling mercies
Well,
so I
good.
could get back to all of you.
There you go.
That's why I was late. So sorry about that, y'all. You must be going to Gray and Dudley?
That's it.
Oh, Gray and Dudley. Charlene Dehu Crow. I guess that's
Is
how
she
you
gonna
say
be?
your middle name. She said you must be going to Gray and Dudley. I've not heard of Gray and Dudley.
Well, I hadn't either.
Oh, honey baked ham is worth waiting for. Yeah, but here's the problem, Lisa. It was closing at 8, and they're not open tomorrow. I just barely made it. Or I would have been dead tomorrow. My mother-in-law would have killed me. Marianne, you know her.
Yes, I know. I was laughing the whole trip.
I love her. I love her. And she loves me.
Yes, but not more than that honey
No.
baked ham.
But I got it. I got it.
Got
Here,
back
hold up. Wait. I got the ham.
Yay, Josh!
Yay. Well, tell us a little bit about the journey with the veranda, where it started. Tell us about, you know who I'm talking about, who it started with. And
Yes.
tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about that.
You know, it's kind of funny that we talk about how it started because we spent two Thanksgivings with Julia. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You and
Oh,
Gary
you know
came
what?
and
We
sang.
ate with her at, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had Thanksgiving dinner with Julia, so she loved y'all. Which I might say for everyone listening, Tribute's always been wonderful to do things for me and to do things for the veranda. But before there was a veranda, there was a little lady named Julia Ellis who I took care of, and she got really sick really quick, and she passed away. And unbeknownst to me, I get a letter from an attorney, and we had called the veranda the project for a couple of years, ever since I knew her. She wanted me to start what she called the project to help crabby old people like she was, when indeed she wasn't really crabby at all. But
No, she was
but
classy.
life, she was a classy lady,
Oh,
and
man. Was she?
she was wonderful. And so she had left the money for me to start the veranda, and I didn't even know it. So that's how Julia, I was her caregiver, her caretaker, and I was responsible for her. And so it was a very huge blessing. But we did go to Thanksgiving with her first Thanksgiving out of she called it the penitentiary. We snuck her out. You remember that? Gary had to
Yes,
go
I
in and
do.
check her
I
out
do.
because they wouldn't let me as an employee take her out. So Gary snuck her out for us. And she got to go to Thanksgiving dinner for the first time in about 3 or 4 years. She got to spend it with friends. So it's fitting that we talk about this at Thanksgiving. But anyway, Julia left me the money, and 7 years later, we're still going. And that is what I'm the most thankful for, is that we're still going. We're still
Yeah.
going.
And
God,
it's been a heck of a ride too.
it has been a heck of a ride. We started out small, and we're still not huge, but we are way bigger than we were. And God's blessed us with a bunch of friends. And gospel music has been great to us.
Yeah.
Great to us. And of course, music is huge to people with dementia. Huge to people with dementia. And so y'all sang, you played. And I mean, lots of people just stop by the veranda and gospel music and sing for us. And I will tell you, the hymn sing video has been huge for us because our clients don't get to go to church.
Right.
So they're afraid they might act up. I don't know if they could act any worse than anyone in church sometimes. But anyway, they don't get to go, whatever the case. And so they don't get to sing the hymns of the faith. And so the hymn sing video has been huge. We have a lady that comes and plays the piano that saw the story in Homecoming magazine that Lauren Talley wrote. And she sent me an email and she said, I saw the article in Homecoming magazine. And she said, I play the piano. I work for a Christian college, and they'll allow us to have 2 days a month off, 2 afternoons a month off to come and do anything we want to do for a nonprofit. And she said, could you use a piano player? And so her name is Debbie Rose. And Debbie comes, she's been there a year and a half, 2 Thursdays a month. Every party we have, Debbie's always there. So without Lauren writing the article, without the Homecoming magazine, and people just don't realize when they do something like that how somebody picks up on it. And so they all know Debbie by name. All the clients know her, the piano lady or Debbie. And so they're so excited when I say our piano players coming today, and they're just happy as they can be. So we just had our Thanksgiving service and they were great. They were great. And so we had a great time. So music has been wonderful for us. Gospel music has been great for us.
Explain a little, because I know through this whole thing, and a lot of people may not know this, especially those who haven't known anybody with dementia or haven't, which most people have. I mean, it's touched just about every family out there. But explain just a little bit, because I know you can get really detailed with how the music part of the brain is and its effect and where that connection is.
Well, most people, when they have dementia, the first thing that you lose, people think is your memory, which is not true. You lose the ability to reason. So reasoning for us is, if you punch that button on your computer, that's going to turn you off and me off as well. But for someone with dementia, they'll just be touching it and not realize that that's going to turn us off, because that's reasoning. Leaving the stove on is reasoning when the pan doesn't have anything in it. Tying your shoe is reasoning. So all of those things are the things that start slipping first. But it's on one side of the brain, that ability. But on the other side, which I believe, now I'm not a theologian by any means, but I do believe that God allows them who have served the Lord their whole entire lives to keep a little bit of that in their heart and their soul. And so that music ability is stored on the polar opposite side of the brain. And so in that section of the brain, the frontal temporal brain, music is stored there, poetry is stored there, scripture is stored there. Let's see, and forbidden words, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And so those forbidden words are like vocabulary to them when they have dementia. So, but lyrics and rhythm rhythm truly is the last thing that you will lose. Someone that is in end stage dementia, or a pearl as we call them, they still have rhythm. You can rub their face and do rhythm, and they can actually walk to rhythm when they can't. They can march to rhythm. Even when they can't hardly walk, they can march to rhythm. So it's huge for people with dementia. Music is huge.
I heard it explained in this theory. So we as the body of Christ are known by the blood and the word of our testimony, right? Mm-hmm. The word of your testimony, when people talk about their testimony, that's their memory.
Right.
That's their memory.
Right.
And so, in a sense, Satan, because it is very rampant now. I do know that you've told me that the percentage of Alzheimer's dementia right now is through the roof.
And growing because of the boomers.
Yeah, and one in every 3 people?
Right. Over the age of 80, soon to be every other person, but up until the age of 80, it's about 1 in 3 of the boomer generation will have some form of dementia.
So So the enemy's kind of grabbing. The theory is the enemy is stealing their memory, more or less through this horrible disease. However, there's one part of the brain that's ironclad. And the only way that it shuts off is if you're in a coma. No, not in a coma. If you have passed, or if you're just brain dead, I think it's what it is.
Yeah. When you have blood flow, well, the brain is a very
tricky.
Yes, it is a very tricky part of our being, and so the brain tells us everything to do. I mean, you moving your arm just like you did. You think it's your arm doing it, but actually, if your brain didn't tell your arm to work, it wouldn't work. If the brain didn't tell you to cross your legs, you wouldn't cross your legs. I mean, the brain tells us everything to do. So my theory is
You're making
this.
me paranoid now, Marianne.
Sorry, but I believe that if we truly believe that our salvation is a heart thing, years ago, probably before you were born, not me, but before there was this thing in the Southern Baptist world that was it's a heart, it's a heart. It's not a head knowledge, it's a heart knowledge.
Yeah.
If that's the case, if we truly believe that it's a heart thing, a heart, then that always is there, because that is who we are. That's where our soul
and their testimony's not being stolen.
No, it's there.
There.
People who have end-stage dementia can still hum. I had a little lady when I went to see her. She was, it was on October the 23rd. The next day was my birthday. And so I went to see Miss Eunice, and she was just lying there. And not many were talking to her. So I just kind of climbed up in the bed with Eunice. And I said, now, Eunice, she always loved when we all get to heaven. And I said, now, Eunice, you're going to get there before me. And I said, you're just going to be shouting all over the place, Eunice. And I was rubbing her face at the whole time, because you can still, this is really a sensitive part of you, is your face. I was rubbing her face, and I said, Eunice, you're going to see the Lord before me, Eunice. So save me a spot, Eunice. She hadn't spoken in days. And her eyes looked up, and she goes, love. Well, her daughter just kind of freaked out. And I said, that's right, Eunice. Love. And she was gone by the next morning. Yeah. She was gone by the next morning. So Eunice heard me. Even though Eunice's brain was all messed up then, her heart heard.
Yeah.
She heard. So I always tell people when I speak, I say, okay, so if indeed you have memory on that side, I mean, music and poetry, we should really try and think about what we're storing. Do we store stuff we're going to lose?
Mm-hmm.
Or are we going to store stuff on that side of the brain?
Or are we storing stuff that we want people knowing that we're storing?
Exactly.
That's what'll come out.
That's exactly right. We want to store things that last, that had longevity. And so those great hymns of the faith, I mean, Silent Night, all of the old Christmas carols, things like that. Oh, they love Jingle Bell, all of those things. They also say that people, the music you listen to from the time you're about 13 to 24, 25, 27, that era, that length time of years, you will almost always revert back to those songs and know the words.
Oh, wow.
So what year you graduated high school in, like for me, I'm not telling everybody, but it's a long time ago. I can sing every word to I can hear a song and say I was on the bus as a cheerleader going to this particular school when I first heard that song.
I'm with you there, yeah. I'm with you. I follow you.
It's that powerful. Music is that powerful. And so kind of that's why we've always centered it around music, because it is that part of the soul that always keeps on smiling, keeps on ticking. We listen to it.
Even in our right mind, it's the best part.
It's the best part. We listen to the hymn sings today, and they'll just sit there and sing a song that they have seen that video. I cannot tell you how many times, and it's always brand new. I just love that song. They'll say, "Isn't that a pretty song?"
You were saying how you were touching Eunice's face and you talked to her.
Yeah.
I've never told you this, but I'm telling you now. I love how you love those people.
Well, you know what? People have not given them credit. They
No.
don't
Well,
give
you hear
people
all these horror
commitment.
stories of these
You
people
hear the
getting
horror.
fed up
Yep.
with and not understandings because they don't want to take the time to understand.
It's a whole different world to understand them where they're at. You and I understand each other because we can converse and have communication. But when you lose the ability to communicate with each other, then you're just lost. You're just sitting there in a lost, so to speak, world. And so you have to find what makes them tick, what makes them happy, what makes them smile,
Sure.
what gives them great joy. We have a little lady now that all she wants to do is we just go boo boppa boo boppa boo boo boo. I mean, it doesn't even have to make sense, but she can't speak but 2 or 3 words, but she can sing a whole verse of a song. But you got to get her cranked up and going to get that rhythm going. And
Sure.
so that's why we do what we do. And we had a Thanksgiving thing today, and Rhonda, my friend, we have a lady now that speaks fluent Spanish, and she's just a hoot. And so she can't teach me. I can't roll an R for the life of me. But Rhonda was over there. She was teaching Rhonda Spanish, and she'd tell her how good she was doing. And so Rhonda's doing a post on Facebook about Miss Fran, but she's just precious. But she loves the hymns of the faith. Loves the hymns.
Was she the one that you sent me that video of?
Yes, today.
Yeah. Hold up. I'm gonna
Yeah,
pull
our
that up.
exercise.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it made me smile. Wait a second. All right. Now, you use the Snapchat filter. Anybody do use
Yeah.
Snapchat? Anybody on here use Snapchat? We use Snapchat. I use Snapchat. All right, here we go. Ready?
Alright, Miss Fran, we gotta look right up there. Alright, say hi. Hello. We're gonna exercise. Exercise. We're gonna hop. Yes, we will. We're gonna jump. We're gonna jump. We're gonna do it all. Yes. Yay, exercise. What is
I love it. I love
You
it.
know, Snapchat's been fun too because people that can't speak and don't speak, they'll sit there and go, whatever face they see looking back at them, they will mock that face.
Well, and you've sent me a couple where they'll actually talk to the screen, talk to
Yes,
the face in
the
the screen, which
face,
is themselves.
exactly. And they have no clue that they're really speaking to themselves. And so they just sit there and they may not say 3 words a day, but you put that Snapchat screen on and they will talk and they'll just talk about how cute they are and not really it's just a terrible disease, but yet that's the fun part of it.
Well, I think what I've learned from you and from the veranda, as far as what this disease is, activity, keeping
You
it moving.
keep it moving.
When it's like the old saying when people say, well, when you stop, you're dead. You know, when you
Yeah,
retire and you don't do nothing, you're dead.
yeah,
I think there's a lot of truth to that. If you just
there is.
you got to keep the brain moving. It's a muscle.
You just have to let them be who they are.
Yeah.
Maybe I always say maybe we should be more like them in that way because they're just who they are and they have no pretense. One time the Olive family came and Mikey was there, and Mikey and Eunice of all
Well, and
love to
Mikey
uh,
is
autism,
autism.
right?
Yeah.
He has autism, and so I thought, oh Lord, here we go, somebody, because they have no filter now, so
Right.
you never know. And so Mikey sat down. He wanted his 16th birthday party at the veranda, so they drove all the way from North Carolina. We had a big
Really, I
birthday.
didn't know that.
Yeah, for Mikey. Well, he was at Eunice's table because he wanted to play bingo. So Eunice was sitting there, no filter, and just as sweet as she could be. And she looked over, and Mikey sat down. She goes, "You're a chunky little thing." And he goes, "Yep, let's play bingo." She said, "Okay." Never did they take offense at each other. It was just like, "Okay, thank you. Yes, I am." And I just thought, we need to be more like that. Not to let every little word just send us real, because they were best buddies and they laughed and played bingo for the rest of the
Yeah,
time.
we get
So
offended way too easy.
we get offended way too easy.
When
And
we went to Africa, they'll insult each other like that. Over there, there's no political correctness at all, at all.
at all.
Woman has their place, man has their place, and everything in between. And they'll insult each other and take it as the joke that it is. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I know. So, you just have to go to their world. The veranda is their world. That room is made for them. So what, within reason, they want to do and say, and Christian people sometimes have a hard time. The church has a hard time accepting those forbidden words. But you know what? If you're wanting to say something and you want to, communication is huge for people. And so if you want to say something really bad and you just want to belt it out there, well, a word's going to come, but it can't come from the good side. It comes from that unforbidden. And, those forbidden words. So the forbidden words, we know they're forbidden.
Right. There's no reasoning with them, yeah.
No. And so
the reasoning's gone.
Learn to laugh. Families have a hard time with it, but we just laugh and go on and, going about our merry way. And they're brutally honest because they don't have a filter. Brutally honest sometimes with each other.
I think I've heard one or two be brutally honest before.
That's the truth. Like one of them asked me, she goes, "Is there a reason why you didn't comb your hair today?"
Is there a reason why you didn't comb your hair today?
I don't know. I said, "Well, I thought I did." And they go, "Well, go look." I'll just go in here and look. So yeah. But then the next day you'll come there and go, "You look so good today." I said, "Well, thank you." And you know what? They want us to tell them how good they look too. So you can tell someone who has very little speech left how pretty they are. Their whole countenance changes. They smile. Everyone wants affirmation.
For sure.
Everyone wants that. You know what? And so that's what we give them. We make them feel like queens. Helen had on a pearl headband yesterday. She has really beautiful hair. I said, "You look like a queen, Helen." I said, "Oh, I believe it is Queen Helen. You want a scepter?" She goes, "Huh?" She didn't know what a scepter stretched her a little. I said, "We're going to have queen for a day around here. Everyone's going to have a tiara. We're all going to have a robe.
That.
We're going to be queen of the day around here." And she goes, "Yes," like that. So she
love that.
I know, so you have to think outside the box.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, y'all had a fashion photo shoot the other day, didn't you?
Yes, Mary Alice. Oh Lord, Mary Alice Lovelace. She and Tim are great supporters of the veranda, and she came and did a photo shoot, glamour shots. And here's what's funny is that the ones that we thought might not be able to stand and strike a pose. Are you kidding me?
They were eating it up.
It was like they were under the lights, and I'd say, "Okay, now look good," and they'd go,
"Now,
great."
You're going to post them on the Veranda Ministries Facebook page, right?
Yes, and we're actually starting a something new in 2019, and so Mary Alice is going to help us, and we're going to have the happy side of dementia, the fun side, and so I don't want pictures of them staring in a mirror looking like I don't know who I am.
No.
They were who they were.
That pity card has been played for way too long. Yeah.
Don't pity them.
That ain't the way it is, yeah.
No, find out what makes them happy, just like you. I mean, we do things that make us happy. It's just for them. We have to figure out how to do it so they'll understand it. And so, listen, they sit on stools and they turn to the left, they turn to the right, they put their hair behind their hair. Even the men in wheelchairs would sit there and strike a pose. Now we had a CEO of company that was there. You could tell he had that GQ pose before, he was all in his suit. And what was so funny is that Martha and, I can't remember, it was Martha and Joyce, I think, they go, "Come here." I went over there, they go, "Might we have our picture made with him? He is fine."
Blunt.
So,
they're blunt. Bluntly
Blunt. But they were truthful.
Yeah.
How do you tell somebody, don't say that, because he is a nice looking guy.
Sure.
He is very, and so they're not dumb. They have dementia. It doesn't mean you're dumb.
Right.
It means that you're sick. You have a very sick brain, but they're still there. You just have to dig down and find them. And so that's
okay.
What we
So
do.
y'all gonna post those pictures. All right. Listen,
Oh yeah.
Everybody, Y'all go follow. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in here. The Veranda Ministries. The Veranda Ministries Facebook page.
Yeah. We post stuff there. Are thankful the video you did for us individually,
Yeah.
the whole month of November we picked out, and they took great pictures for that.
Well, they
They
did too. Yeah.
they did great on that. But you should be there when you ask them what they're thankful for.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh Lord, last Thursday we had our Thanksgiving service. Debbie was there to play the piano. We were all in the floor bawling, all in the floor crying. Grown men, volunteers, still are talking about the Thursday at the veranda. It was something to be there. It
I
was
love that.
something.
Well, I have a little surprise for you.
Oh Lord.
I know of one particular man who is very thankful, and Mr. Ken Williams is going to tell us about it right
Are you kidding me?
now. I got to interview him the other day, so here we go.
Oh,
I have a friend of the Verandas, and actually a client of the Verandas, Ken Williams. Ken is with us today. How are you, Ken?
I am doing very well. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, I'm very glad to.
Well, how long have you? I'd like to ask a couple questions. How long have you been a client of the Verandas?
Probably about 6 months.
Oh, 6 months. So
Yeah,
fairly.
I'm a relatively new client.
Okay, okay. And what area are you from? What area of Tennessee are you from?
Well, I'm from here in Gallatin, Tennessee.
Okay, so you're literally right down the road from
I'm
the
right
Veranda.
down the road from the veranda, so it's close to me, and that makes it even more precious to me.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Well, Ken, why don't you share with the people, share with us what the veranda has meant to you, what the staff has meant to you, and what it has done for you, if you wouldn't
Okay, I'm
mind.
glad
Maybe
to do.
explain a little bit of why you're there.
Okay, well, I'm there because of some health problems that I've had, and as a result of that, Uh, my wife is pretty much constant caregiver. I have a young daughter that lives with me too, but to give them some respite from having to take care of me 24/7,
Sure.
I go to the veranda, and the veranda gives me an opportunity to socialize with other people that are in similar situation to my own, and to uh, have some fun with them at the same time and bring joy to everybody's life.
Sure.
And the staff is just so tremendous in supporting all of our efforts,
That's it.
especially Mary Ann.
We do love Mary. You can't help but love Mary Ann.
Oh no, so enthusiastic and so joyful the way she approaches all of the clients at the veranda.
Oh, absolutely. I've known her since before the veranda was ever an idea. And so I've been privileged to see it go from an idea to where it is now. And it really is an amazing ministry. It really is a ministry.
Yes. Oh,
I,
yeah. Impact Fellowship is the church there that supports this ministry. They are very Christian oriented, and therefore they bring God into this. We always have a prayer and often a word of the day before we eat lunch, and this just brings a little bit of meaning into what we're doing there.
Well, and you know what? It really is important. Oh, I think that's another thing we were talking of. A lot of people don't understand the type of ministry that it is. They think it is a simply a daycare service, simply, and that's it. Oh, we have people come in and we just kind of babysit them for a while. No, there is a lot of activity, a lot of involvement.
Oh yes, every day, Josh, we will usually go in and then we'll socialize a little bit in the morning when we all get to there till we're kind of settled. And then we'll have exercises, although they're all done in our chairs, so that we don't inconvenience anyone who might have trouble standing, walking, whatever. They can all do it right in their chairs. Then we will usually play a game. It might be bingo. It might just be cards. A lot of different activities to kind of energize the people. Then we have a prayer and a word of the day possibly, and then we'll have lunch, and we all eat the lunch together, and we enjoy that. And of course, we all enjoy the dessert most of all. And then after lunch, we'll play another game, and we may have arts and crafts.
That's just amazing.
And they enjoy the arts and crafts more than they do some of the games. The men enjoy the games.
Sure. Of course we do. Of course we do.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think there's even some sing-alongs.
Oh, yes. About every other week, we have a sing-along afternoon, and everybody just sings. And we sing hymns to the Lord, and we sing other patriotic songs that I'm certain everybody knows, and then other Tennessee songs.
Ah. Like?
Well, like Rocky Top, coming around the mountain when she comes.
When she comes. Of course. I've learned, I'm originally from Florida, and I have learned.
Don't hold that against you.
Thank you. You cannot live in Tennessee and not sing or know Rocky Top. There's just no way.
True.
There's just
that
no way.
That is true. Well, I knew it before I got here because my son-in-law went to University of Tennessee, so I'll assure you he taught us that.
Oh, I there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Well, Ken, thank you so much, and I think this is just very important, especially this Thanksgiving. You know, it's a different time. We are in a different time. Let's just say it. And I think there is a stigma with this day and time that there's not a whole lot to be thankful for. And I think there really is. And I really think the veranda is one of those things that thank God for. We just thank God for.
Most definitely. We thank God every day for what he brings us in the veranda. We thank those who have supported the veranda through donations or whatever. Those are needed in order to carry on the veranda. Absolutely. It doesn't run for free. Absolutely. I mean, as I said, we have food. You know, we have to rent a place where we can have it. So it's nice to have the support of those who love God and love Jesus and want to come and support the veranda.
And all God's people said, Amen. Ken, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for speaking with us. I hope and I pray that you all have a fantastic Thanksgiving. It's the best Thanksgiving you ever had. The turkey's the best you've ever tasted it. The sweet potato casserole is
most definitely. I love that sweet potato casserole. Well, Josh, same to you. You have a happy Thanksgiving.
I think we all love that sweet potato casserole.
He did.
I enjoyed that.
You know he's an attorney.
No, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, he's an attorney, and his wife was a special needs special ed teacher for years, and met them at a support group because we have a support group, and so I met Hannah and Ken, and everybody just thought Ken wouldn't like it. But Ken came, and I'm just telling you, Mr. Chatham used to be there, and Brother Chatham did our word of the day, and always said our blessing. And when Mr. Chatham went to heaven, I asked Ken, I said, Ken, these are big shoes to fill. Would you do our word of the day? And so Ken stands up there, and he does it with dignity, and I just love Ken. He is the most fun. He's just so fun. He's just. I love him. That about made me cry, so I don't want to start crying because my mascara.
I know you start crying, I'm gonna start crying. Then all God's children gonna start crying. All these comments are gonna have cries by them.
I know it. Ken is so kind. You know, you just see people sometimes, and he is just kind.
Oh, he's got the sweetest disposition, sweetest spirit about him.
Oh, he's wonderful. His home, and Hannah, his wife, is that way. His daughters love him, and you know, this is a family disease, and so his daughter that lives with them is a nurse there in Gallatin at the hospital, and she helps take care of her dad, and it's a great family. They love their dad, they love their mom. It's not always that way, but I'm gonna tell you, when it is that way, it's a great thing to watch because they all love Ken. It's hard not to love Ken. He has brought great joy, and he came. This is what's interesting: not knowing how to play Rummy Cube, which I still don't know how to play. They
I
don't
don't know
let
how to
me
play.
play. They let me play 21 with cards because I can count, but I can't count fast enough and to do rummy cube. But Ken learned how since he's been at the veranda. Think about that, to play rummy cube.
And he's learned it since he's been there in 6 months.
Never heard of it and had never played it before. So, our desires to do things sometimes outweigh diseases that we
And
have.
to learn things.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of them learn how to do things there. They might not be what we would have thought our life was going to be when we were 65 or
Sure.
70. But we have great volunteers too, because we have a men's table, the Knights of the Round Table. So when Sam came, I don't know, a couple of months ago, and Sam, I moved him to the back of the room last week for the photo shoot. I put the men's table toward the back. Well, they were all upset. They said, how did we get moved to the back? And I said, well, it's warmer back there. And they go, no, you have moved us to the back. Well, we've elected Sam to be our mayor. Sam is the mayor of this table. He's going to be the mayor of the veranda. And Sam said, this has got to change. This has got to change. So Ken was with him. Ken was the lawyer. Sam's the mayor. And so.
Oh, well, it's going to pass then.
It's going to pass. That's right. So come Thursday, after the photo shoot, they were back up at the front, and I said, hey, you passed a new law, and the lawyer said you got to do it. So here you are. You back up here at the same table. So we've had a big law. So we call Sam Mayor Sam. So it was good. And Ken and Sam, everybody was all dressed up for the photo shoot. First thing Mary Alice said when she came to the veranda, she really didn't want to come, I don't think, because she thought it was going to be
Mary Alice, for everyone who doesn't know, Mary Alice is Tim Lovelace's wife. Mary Alice Lovelace.
She's a great photographer.
Yes, she is.
They're just a great couple. Tim's came and spoke to a conference we had, and Mary Alice just thought it'd be terrible. She goes, this is probably the happiest place I've ever been that had that many people in it. And I said, well, we're always happy.
You don't hear that. You, everyone that's watching right now, y'all know we don't hear that about elderly care facilities.
No. Facility. That's what Julia used to call it. Facility.
Facility.
She hated that facility. But, yeah, Mary Alice, because you just never think. And other people come in, strangers come and go, I like how it feels here. It looks like home. And I thought, well, that's what everybody wants to be. People always talk about, I want to go home. They say, my mother says I want to go home 100 times a day. But here's the deal. Home isn't what we think it is. Sometimes home is just a place of peace. Because when we were at home, we were comfortable. We were happy. So sometimes they're not looking for wood, hay, and stubble. They're looking for a place.
Sure.
And so you can take them back to the home they were raised in. They'll say, get me out of here. I don't like this place. I've never been here a day in my life. And so it isn't the structure they're looking for all the time. It's for that place called home in their heart that they love, that they find peace and contentment in. So,
well, Mary Ann,
could be done without our volunteers. I got to say that.
You're right, and you do have fantastic volunteers, Mary Ann. It's a unbelievable place, and I'm so very proud of you. And I'm so thankful for the work that you're doing. I'm so thankful for the veranda. God forbid my family have to deal with this. I hate that they're all in Florida.
I know. You know what? People call me from all over the country. When I was on the Huckabee show, I never knew what it would be like for your phone to ring off the wall or your email to blow up. And every time it would air, it was like blow up time. And I'm going, all these people, people from California going, we saw you on Huckabee. What can I do? People in New York, New Jersey, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, all of those places. And so it made it seem like it was all about me, when in fact, it wasn't about me. Without the volunteers, there would be no, we could not afford to pay 12 people to 18 people to come and help us. We couldn't help the people we want to help. And so they're all, with the exception of 2, 3 maybe, out of 18, over the age of 65. Some are 83 years old, 84 years old, and they come every week and sit there with someone. And you know what? It gives them a purpose. They're retired.
Sure.
And, I mean, Doug and Gail and Libby and the majority of them have been there the whole 7 years. We're going on our 8th year now. We started our 8th year. And so they've been there since. They've taken every step I have taken.
I love it.
I may take more steps.
I love it.
But they take everyone during the hours, and even for like the fundraiser at Christmas. Listen, it's all hands on deck.
Oh, it is. You're exactly right.
All hands on
and
deck.
speak of, let's talk about it just a minute. Now, kind of explain. People think this is just going to be a gospel concert.
No,
That's not what it's going to be. Many of you will see the ad, and many of you probably have already seen the event on Facebook. It's not just a gospel concert. It's more than that.
It is.
Talk a little bit about it.
When we started this, I wanted Christmas music. It is that one area, that one genre of music, that Christmas music that everyone, I don't care who you are, knows a Christmas song.
Yeah.
You know Jingle Bells. You might know Oh Holy Night. You might know the Hallelujah Chorus. But you know Christmas music. And so we sing it 12 months out of the year. We don't care. Who cares that it's July and we're singing Jingle Bells? I don't care. They don't care. And they count. And so, but it uses, and so Christmas music is huge, huge. And so that's what I wanted. Christmas music, a concert where it's fun. It's family. It brings back those memories for most of good times. Christmas trees, the smells, the smell of Christmas. It's huge. Our senses, all of our senses are huge to people with dementia. So the smell of cinnamon, the smell of an apple, all of those things can take them on a really quick journey to somewhere else that was happy. And so Christmas music takes us there. And that's why. And we're excited this year because we have people that have never been there before. Of course, we're excited because Tribute's always there. And the Tallies have been there from the get-go. But this year, John Darren volunteered to come, and I love John Rousey now. I'm just going to tell you. I just think he's one of the finest men in gospel and Christian music. And the Lore family's from our music school, the Steve Hurst School of Music. I just love that family. They are wonderful. They're scared to death because they're going to be up there singing with y'all. And I said, oh, good grief. It's just tribute. It's no big deal. They sing off pitch just like the rest of us do sometimes.
Yes, we do.
So, there you go. So, perspective here. And truly, dementia has changed my perspective. It'll change anyone's perspective to see what I see. And so the Lore family's coming. Rebecca Little Burke is coming. She's coming in from North Carolina. Let's see, who else? Kenna West. And we have an American Idol contestant coming. Ricky Brady's coming to sing. And so we're just thrilled that that we have a great concert. We have great songs lined up. We have a huge silent auction. That's why I see glitter on my nose. It's because I've been doing trees and wreaths today. So we have a memory tree, but this is the coolest thing ever. We have a tree that the clients have made the ornaments for to auction off.
It's new this year.
Yes, they have worked since August to do it.
Oh my goodness.
August. And they have literally done the artwork on almost 200 placemats. And so they've signed them all. They've done the artwork with the pencils and the markers. So everyone's placemat's going to be hand done by the clients themselves. They're so proud. And so we're just looking for a way. Their stocking's going to be hung that they've all done the artwork on. Just cool stuff. But we have tons of stuff at the auction, and it is our biggest fundraiser. And so it is a lot of work. And we're so excited because Aaron Wilburn's going to be there.
Oh,
we've never had a comedian at the Christmas event. Yeah. So Aaron, how
it's going to be fantastic.
It is so funny because we ended up at a separate event for a nonprofit, and Aaron sat beside me, and I looked at him and I said, well, Aaron, he goes, well, Marianne, I said, I thought you forgot me. He said, I thought you forgot me. He did our very first, you remember, our very first benefit.
I
Aaron
remember that.
there to kick off. I found out that day of that benefit that Julia had left the money for the veranda.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I was called that morning. It's a whole big story that we won't go into, but
Sure.
I got a call and the letter that was sent to me got lost. And so I didn't know it. And Rhonda calls me that morning and says, have you gotten a letter from Julia's attorney? And I said, no, why? And she goes, I think you need to find out why. So she told me what the letter said. It was like at 8:00 that morning. And she had been off work the week before. So had she went on Thursday or Friday of the week before, it wouldn't have been that. But the very first event we had was the very day I learned that Julia had left the money to get the veranda started. Yeah, I was crying at Sam's. I was getting
So,
crying.
now listen there, buddy. Now she's saying about this dear woman who left this money. That ain't the only money keeping this thing in operation.
No, it is not. It's long time gone.
Listen, y'all, you can donate. You can donate to the veranda. This benefit, it's $45 a person, correct? A plate, right?
A plate.
A
Yeah,
plate?
40, yeah.
Or three what?
I don't know. I don't know.
Wait.
The table. You're talking about the table fee.
Oh,
There's
table
8
fee.
people to a table.
$360 for a table. Now look here, y'all. There are some of you who can donate a table. If you're in California or wherever you are, Montana, and you can't make it, there's some of you I know that can donate a table. This is going to this ministry. This does not go in Marianne's pocket. There are volunteers. This is the biggest event. Y'all, it's so important that places like these, I think it's been reiterated through this entire video. We've been on now for 1 hour and 7 minutes. This entire video, what the work is that's going on, and they can't do it without our help. They can't. God uses his people.
Well, he has.
And he has. Yes, he has.
He has used, there's been times when I left a huge job.
I knew you weren't going to say all that, so I was going to do it for you.
I know, I wasn't going to say it. I'm not good at that part of it. But I will tell you that even when I left the job I had, I was single, but I knew God said, you know what? This isn't what you're supposed to be doing. And so with Julia's help, that money allowed me a year to live as a single person and get the veranda going. That's what she wanted. And so, not all, but most of it. And so it gave us a time to build up our clientele, get us settled. It was a startup for us. And, so I cannot tell you how blessed the veranda has been. There were sometimes I'd go to bed thinking, Lord, I don't know what we're going to do. And then the next morning, there'd be a check in the mail, or somebody would call. Always. And we've been very, very diligent as a board, the board at the veranda, and as the volunteers, that we give back to other people.
Sure.
And so we do. We help other people.
I know you have.
We tithe off the veranda just like we would, and so our church is very, very good to us. Impact Fellowship is wonderful to us. Steve Hurst is my pastor and been a friend for a long time. He's always been a cheerleader for me. And
for all of us,
For all of us. And without him, I would not probably be where I am. That's just the truth. I've known him 30 plus years. So vocally and mostly, most important, my walk with the Lord. It is, he taught me what that meant. Mm-hmm. And so I'm forever grateful. And we have so many. Jeff Stice. You know what? I love Jeff Stice. When I'm in a bad mood, there'll be a text come through, or I'll be in a Mully Groves. And
it's true. It's true. I've gotten those texts.
I'm telling you, it's like out of the blue, there'll come a text from Jeff Stice. So, it is. And Dusty Wells, I'm telling you,
Oh, I love
Dusty,
Dusty Wells.
oh my goodness, he'll send text, and the days when the things seem the bleakest sometimes, and it's not all fun, it's a lot of hard work, and you're disappointed in things, and Dusty will always, there'll be a text come. DeMar Noecker,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
telling you,
DeMar Noecker.
he does the
That's
light.
one of the giving most people I've ever met in my life.
Golly, he has rebuilt the veranda 3 times.
Now listen, we're talking about all this donating and all that stuff. I think people need to know you are a 50
Yes, we are. We're our
501c3.
own self-sustaining nonprofit. We are.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So it's tax write-off, whatever you give.
Yeah.
Listen, folks, I have learned that gifts up to $14,000 are tax write-offs anyway. Why not give it to the veranda?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But you know what? Here's the funny thing about it. I've never had to beg.
Yeah.
I've never seen.
That's okay. I'll beg for you.
I know, but I will tell you,
Thankfully, you haven't. You're exactly right. Thankfully, you have not.
Well, He's made a way.
Yeah.
He's made a way for us that the legislation. Oh, you're kidding me?
Oh.
It took a year of my life because we would have been closed. Last year we had Senator Hale and Courtney there to talk about. We're going to try to get this legislation at the Christmas event. This year's a celebratory Christmas event because had it not been for that legislation, we would have been gone.
That's true.
They would have closed us because of a law. Not anyone's fault. They didn't know they were going to close the veranda, but that legislation alone. There were many nights in the past year I cried going to sleep thinking, oh, Lord, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And yet, when it come down to the vote, there was not one nay. And I'm going to tell you, red, blue, conservative, liberal, Democrat, Republican, Alzheimer's is going to fall on all of them. It doesn't choose.
Lost person, Christian. It's going to fall on something.
It's going to fall on some, yeah. And so for you to have every legislative hearing you go through, which was torture in of itself, I think one time Gerald Wolf texted me one morning, and I was mad that day. I was just mad. And so some things just make you mad. And he even called one of his representatives to get on board. But at the end of the day, not one nay vote. Never happens. Not in this day and time does it ever. Only God could get all yay. All yay. So I'm grateful.
Marianne,
so we're celebrating.
Yes, it's a good Thanksgiving.
It is a good
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
This is a good Thanksgiving.
It is indeed.
Well, listen, thank you so much for joining me.
You are more than welcome.
Oh, I'm glad we could do this. And thank you all for joining us. Marianne, enjoy your... By the way, I think in that interview I was wearing the same sweater.
Were you?
Yeah, I think I was. I watched that video. I was wearing the same thing. I watched it, I promise.
Please do.
Well, listen, you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy your time at the restaurant downtown.
I'm going to.
And I will see you in a few days.
Yes, you will. Bring your muscles.
Do what? What'd you say?
Bring your muscles.
But what muscles?
Muscles. Well, you got to find some. You got about 2 weeks.
I'll look in the storage unit, but I'm not promising anything.
Well, then bring Callie.
Yeah. Oh no, I'll bring Callie. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Callie's
Oh yeah.
board.
That's true. Yeah, she's my muscle.
I know, but Callie's on our board.
People. It's always funny. I enjoy being. For those who don't know, it's funny when people walk up to me and go, "Oh, your wife is just so sweet," and I'm going, "Honey, you just haven't met her." My wife is a strong woman, and I love being married to a strong woman. I love that.
Do?
But she does let me hold the remote.
She does?
She does let me. Now she picks what we watch.
But she got you.
But she let me hold the remote. Yes.
The honey baked ham. She got you.
That's true. Yeah. No, she told me. No, she warned me that if I didn't get there, her mama was gonna kill me.
Well, I know, but she's on our board, so we're so
Yes,
thrilled.
she is. Yeah, that's right. Callie is on the board.
Yes,
Right.
she is.
Gary Casto's on the board. Yeah,
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 so
yeah.
Deborah Talley,
Deborah Talley's on the board. Yeah,
Debbie Bennett's been chairman of the board forever.
that's
So,
true. That's true. Well, I love you.
all right,
I
love
love you,
you.
Big. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving tomorrow.
You have fun too. Mwah.
Mwah.
Bye.
Y'all, thank you for those who hung in there with me. Thank you, y'all. It's quite the ministry there, and I'm thankful for it. And so many families are reaping just the relief, just the rest that they can't get because they're 24 hours having to take care of someone, but they have their jobs that they have to go to. They got to take care of other family members. And so to have a place like the veranda, man, it really is something. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. Listen, there's a couple events coming up. If you're in Minnesota, we are coming to you soon. Tribute Quartet is going to be at Grace Point Church on December 2nd. So I can't figure that there we are. We're December 2nd, Grace Point Church in New Brighton, Minnesota, which is right outside the cities. Then before that, we're going to be New Year's Eve. There you are. For our Canadian friends, we're going to be in Chilliwack. Right outside of Vancouver. At the Alliance Church. Y'all, that's going to be great. All right. And then before that, we have a fantastic concert. I've never known anybody to do this before, but they're having a big New Year's gospel concert in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Now, I know that's far for a lot of you people, but some of you can make it. Here's the commercial. I'm telling you, it's going to be really good. It's going to be really good. So the Southeast especially. If you're in the Southeast, this is going to be great. Here you go.
Get your tickets now for the big pre-New Year's Eve gospel concert with Adam Crabb, Tribute, Gold City, The Griffins, Jordan Family Band, and Gospel Truth Trio. Saturday, December 29th at District 3 Auditorium in Spartanburg. For tickets, visit itickets.com or call 864-237-3214. Don't miss the big pre-New Year's Eve gospel concert, Saturday, December 29th at District 3 Auditorium in Spartanburg.
Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good night. Well, y'all enjoy your Thanksgiving tomorrow. Don't eat too much. Don't put yourself too bad into a coma. Share this video. If you haven't already, thank you for all those that hit likes. We've got some hearts and some loves and some laughies and some oohs and a couple cries. And there's 17 mad faces. Who on earth put 17 mad faces? Surely it had to be Mama that didn't know what she was touching. Mama, you gotta learn what all the different emojis are. You can't just go pressing them. Anyway. Follow us if you haven't already, like our page. Follow us here on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. And for you Instagrammers, there are a ton of you Instagrammers out there. Tribute Quartet. Follow us on Instagram as well. There's so much going on there as well. Also, you can find our music on iTunes, what's that other one? We're also on Snapchat. So there's iTunes and the other one, Spotify, Google Play. You can hear us everywhere, y'all. Anywhere people come to us at our concerts and go, y'all got a website, y'all. It's 2018. Y'all on iTunes. We're yes. We're everywhere that you can find, wherever your favorite music outlet is, we're there. Okay? So go follow us. We hope to see you all real soon at a concert. How did you like this Tribute TV live? I know I've done those Tribute TV videos before, but this was live. Tribute TV live. I think we'll have to do some more of these. Pat Barker said earlier, where's the rest of the quartet? He just sees the piano player. Well, that's because the rest of the quartet are all at their houses and they don't want to do this. So they just let me do it. So to the rest of the world, I apologize. But this is what you have to end up with. Well, everyone have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Remember, there's so much to be thankful for. So much to be thankful for. Go follow the veranda, and we'll see all of you down the road sometime soon. Good night.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.